Hey everyone, so I'm going to record a recipe video for today. Today I'm going to be making low-carb pizzas. So these pizzas are going to be small. I don't know the size of them, but they're just, the direct like inches or whatever of them. But they're going to be small. And I'm going to show you guys what we're going to use. What are the ingredients. And I'm filming with the front camera, so if it's lower quality, I apologize. But this way I can really, see how see if I'm making any funny faces or just see how the video is looking. So I'm going to show you guys what we're going to be using. Okay, so now that I'm using the back camera, these are the ingredients that we're going to be using. So we're using flat, flip it over, Joseph's flat oat bran and whole wheat pita bread. And as you guys can see, this keeps the macros, the carbs down for the crust. What we're going to be using as the crust, or just the bread for the pizza dough. And typically, like if you buy pizza crusts that are already made, they usually have like 40 carbs. This one, as you can see, only has 8 grams of carbs and 2 grams of fat and 6 grams of protein per pita. So these are really good to use for anything. This morning I used it for my omelet. Now I'm using it to make pizza. So this is what we're going to use as our, pizza crust. This is what we're going to put in the toppings, the sauce, and the cheese on. So that's done. And then I would recommend any form of vegetables. So today I'm going to be using spinach, and then here I have some spinach and some chopped peppers, as you guys can see. And this is just so you're ensuring you're getting some micronutrients in, that way you can hit a serving of vegetables and still have something good like pizza. So toss that to the side, and this is something that I'm going to be using to lower the fat. Typically pepperoni has a lot of fat. I was looking at the store. I was in Walmart like a couple hours ago. It's 13 grams of fat per serving. And as you can see, a serving here is 15 slices, which is pretty accurate. And it only has 4.5 grams of fat, 0 carbs, and 8 grams of protein. So as you can already tell, the theme of this, or just like basically like the overall macros for this pizza is going to be typically moderate fat, low carbs, and very high in protein. That's that. And now to lower the fat even more, I'm going to be using some fat-free cheese. So this is just one of the cheeses that I'm going to be using. Fat-free, as you can tell, has no fat, minimal carbs, so 2 grams of carbs, and 9 grams of protein. And the other cheese that I'm going to be using is over here. It's the Velveeta Shreds, which is another cheese that's low in fat. And it's the Mexican-style cheddar blend. I've tried the mozzarella ones and the cheddar one, and it typically tastes the same. So I'm decided to give this one a try. And as you guys can see, typical cheese, the whole milk cheese has like 7. Even some of them has 9 grams of fat. So this one only has 3 grams of fat, 3 grams of carb, and 5 grams of protein. So for the most part, this meal is a good substitute if you're craving pizza for regular pizza, which a slice of pizza typically has anywhere from 9 to 13 grams of fat, 25 to 40 carbs, and 10 to 15 grams of protein. A typical slice of pizza. So as you can see, and in the end I'll actually do the math and see how many slices of normal pizza you would have to eat to equal the amount of calories that we're going to be eating with these pizzas. Alright, so I'm going to weigh everything out, and I'm going to show you guys how everything should look and the ingredients that we're going to be using and the amounts of each. See you guys then. Okay, so I measured everything out. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, for our sauce, we're going to be using Francesco's Rinaldi. I decided to go with the 3 cheese sauce. Typically I go with the meat flavored one. As you guys can see, the macros for these aren't that bad. 2 grams of fat, 16 carbs, and 3 grams of protein. So typically this has typically the same amount of fat as a pita bread, because I'm only going to be using half of the serving. So this is what we're going to be using for the recipe. The recipe consists of 2 pizzas, so we're going to be using 2 pita breads. And another thing I forgot to mention, I keep forgetting to mention many things. Garlic powder I like to put on the crust just to give a little bit more taste of garlic bread. And some kind of seasoning. So right now I went with the roasted garlic and herb just to try it out, see how it works, and see how it tastes. And some Pam spray just so that it doesn't stick to the pan, because we are going to be using an oven, and I'll show you guys the kind of oven I'm using. Just a small oven, preheated to, I would say, 375 degrees. So yeah, that's what we're going to be using. And we're going to be using half a cup of each of the cheeses that I showed you guys. So half a cup of the Velveeta Shreds cheese and half a cup of the fat-free mozzarella cheese. And we're going to evenly distribute this between the 2 pita breads. And here we have 15 slices of that turkey pepperoni, which is a serving. We're going to divide it evenly amongst the two. And here we have a fourth of a cup of that 3-cheese Francesco Rinaldi meat, basically pasta sauce it is. I like using pasta sauce as opposed to tomato sauce. I don't know, I just like the taste of it. But yeah, fourth of a cup, so it's going to be half of the macros that are behind there. And yeah, and then, oh yeah, and we're just going to be putting these vegetables on. Typically, I like to put the vegetables on first in the bottom, so that everything goes over it and the vegetables are well hidden, they're well cooked, and etc. So, I'm going to start putting the pizzas together, and I'll show you guys how it looks. Peace. So first, you coat your whatever tray or whatever pan you're using with the Pam nonstick cooking spray, so let's do that. Okay. Next, I'm just going to put the pita pockets there and distribute them how I want them to be. So probably like around there, I would say. That should be pretty good. No, I'll put them this is longer, so this way, like that. That should cover it. Yep, like there. Hopefully they don't go off to the side or anything. It'd probably be smart to put them one at a time, but I don't really feel like waiting. I'm just gonna do one at a time. So there you are. Put one of them there, and let's see if I can put it here so you guys can see. No, not gonna work. Okay, so I'll just put the sauce here. So I'm gonna put half of the sauce on here. So half of this. And it doesn't matter if you put exactly half or not. I mean, we already took it into calculation of the macros, so it's gonna be half. It's gonna be a fourth of a cup distributed between both. So that's enough sauce for me. You can add more, you can add less, whatever you want. Typically, it doesn't really matter how much you want, how much you add, as long as you take it into consideration the calories in the end. That's what's important. You don't have to use the exact ingredients that I have. You don't have to do these things the exact way. This is just like a template to provide you with like a strategy to just, or just kind of open people's minds as to what can be incorporated into a diet. Even though you're trying to lose weight, you can still eat many of the foods that you love to eat. So yeah, I'm just showing you one of the foods that I like to eat, pizza. So just doing that, typically like that. I'll probably add a little bit more. There. That should be good for that. So let's evenly spread it out. It's good. Okay. So now, I typically like putting the seasoning on. So grab whatever seasoning you want. I'm going to grab the garlic. God, it's so hard to open this one-handed. Okay, so put a little bit on there. Like so. Next, grab the other seasoning. Put a little bit on there. This one has salt, so I'm not going to put too much on there. That should be good. And next, like I said, I like putting my vegetables on first. So I'm going to grab the spinach and the green peppers, and I'm going to put half of them on this one, and I'll save the other half for the other one. Put the spinach on there, like that, like that, like that. There you go. There it is. There it is. Okay, and it doesn't have to look pretty, guys. It just has to, be on there. I'll put a little bit of the peppers on there. There's one. There's another. And there's another. And then I'll put one more. Save the rest for the other pizza. And then there's that. Okay, and now I think I'm going to put... No, I'm going to put the cheese now. So, grab your cheese. And you're going to put about half on here. So... let's go like that, and like that. And it doesn't have to be completely covered in cheese, like how it is like when it comes out of the restaurant. Like, it doesn't matter if some of the toppings show, because, I mean, you are trying to make it a little bit more macro-friendly, and cheese is very high in calories. I mean, cheese, don't get me wrong, fat-free cheese is good in terms of, like, macronutrients, but it's not the best tasting cheese, at least in my opinion. So that's typically the cheese that I'm going to put, because I still need to save that cheese for the other one. Why is it so dark in here? Let's see if I can get the light. Okay. So yep, that's how that looks. And I'm gonna put 7, or just about half of the pepperoni. Where is it? Where's my hand? There it is. So let's put about half on there. Half. 1. There. There. Okay. So that looks to me like it's ready. Now, I'm just going to put this in the oven. So I'm going to put this there. And I'm typically going to leave it in there probably for like 15 minutes. And then after 15 minutes, I'm going to put the other pizza on there. And basically, I'll show you guys how it looks when both pizzas are done. And I'll be putting the macros for MyFitnessPal probably right now, so then I can just put them right away on the screen. Alright guys, so I'll see you when these pizzas are done. See you then. Pizzas are all done. You can see. Clean eating. Look at that. Put it on Physique's channel.
For the gains.
For the gains. Cheers.